Friday, everyone out there. So happy that you've joined me for another episode of TryDay Friday. We come to you every Friday afternoon and just try to share some tips and techniques maybe you haven't tried before, or maybe it's something I'm trying for the first time, which is the case today. So let's check it out. I'm going to use this fun Spread Love stamp set, and then I'm going to be doing a fun fold card. So I'm going to dive right into that. But check out the sentiments. Isn't the stamp set fun? This could go for so many different occasions. So I'm going to stamp away at that in just a minute. But first I'm going to grab just your normal 8.5 by 11 piece of cardstock. This one right here happens to be lemongrass. And I'm just going to cut it kind of like I'm going to be creating two tent fold cards. Except it's going to be a little tricky, and that's not exactly what I'm going to do. So follow along here. So I love tent fold cards. To create them, you just basically, fold your cardstock in half. Your little crease tool if you want to give it a nice sharp crease. So this becomes your tent fold card. So you lift it up, open it to see the greeting. It looks like a little tent. Okay, check. This is all good. Now, instead of actually creating the card just like this, I'm going to add another fun little layer. I'm going to actually fold what looks like it's going to be a second tent fold card. This time I'm going to go ahead and flip this little guy up. So this is going to be folded back on itself. Now I have shown a similar type of fold before where I've created a card that has kind of this horizontal orientation. Wasn't quite exactly the size, but then it would open like this and it would be a cute little greeting or whatever inside. But instead of doing that, I'm going to flip it around so we have kind of a mini tent in front of the tent, right? Does that make sense? And I'm going to attach it to my original card base. So just going to put any kind of adhesive. If you're following along, if you try this at home, any kind of adhesive would work here. But it's almost like I'm doubling up my card front. I'm going to attach this right on the front. So now what I have here is a card that not only opens like a normal card, but also can kind of stand up. I don't know if it has the front view or not, but kind of this idea where we can be like, dee, have this little extra little hill or mountain or tent type of look right there. So super fun. And then as we will decorate it, you will see it come to life a little bit more, and you'll see how it, kind of comes to life here. All right, so one other fun thing that I'm going to kind of play with here, and what's interesting is that sometimes you guys have already noticed this, and it doesn't happen all the time, but sometimes I dress. You can probably see my shirt here, this logo. I sometimes dress to match my cards, or sometimes I create cards that match my dress. Right? Does that make sense? So sometimes I'm inspired by my clothes. That's really all I'm trying to say. Sometimes I'll have a certain color combination and I think, oh, that's fun. I should make a card with that color combination. But anyway, today I'm kind of in the tropical vibe, as you can see. So I was like, I'm going for it. I'm going for the tropical vibe. So this is one of our prints from RSVP, and this is a pattern pack that has all kinds of really fun prints. Not all of them tropical, but quite a few of them are. But what's really fun about this pack is check out this back side. So this is side B. Now this is printed. It looks a little bit weird because you see these, longer strips at the top and bottom. But check out how we designed this paper. It's so fun. And I'm going to bring my trimmer back in to just show you exactly. But if you went ahead and followed these crop lines, so I don't know, Roy, can we get in kind of close? You will see, in fact, I'll move it up here because we even have a pair of scissors that shows you kind of a little cheat. So it has these crop lines already in it. So you can just come along and follow those crop lines with your trimmer. And then this is going to create what can either be, really cool card fronts, or it could be, actually the inside of your card, which is what I'm going to do right now. So I'm going to trim this one that's kind of got this fun little border. And what's great is that you're going to have 6 different varieties when you get done. So again, really fun for a card front. You can stamp on top of them. You can do any kind of, any number of fun things. Ink them, color them, do whatever. So I thought this would be fun inside my card. So this is going to be when I open up my card all the way. Especially when you are writing a handwritten greeting, or in this case I want to write an actual, a little bit longer note on this project. So I like to have the white inside. Not that you can't really write on this lemongrass, but it is definitely fresher and cleaner if you have the white on the inside. So isn't that fun? It's like the perfect size, and bam, we've got a little surprise inside our card. Okay, so let's talk about the outside of our card real quick. I do have a piece of that well, kind of floral tropical paper that I trimmed out earlier. I'm going to add some tape on here. And this guy is going to go inside my main, what would traditionally be my normal card front. Except you can see I've added this flap so light. How cute. Like, it's getting cute already, right? Okay, and then I have this piece of print that is also from the RSVP prints. And I'm just going to add this to the front. Oops, a little bit too wide. Thought I did them 2 1/4. I must have done 2 3/4. All right, so I just wanted something to kind of decorate this front flap just a little bit. I'm going to add some fun twine and stuff in a minute, but okay. So now I've got, you know, kind of what is like the front of my card with a little sort of peekaboo situation. So I've pre-die cut one of my circles. This is from our Journey Circles die. Excuse me, it's from our Circle Around. It's our newer circle set that's kind of got this fun little stitched effect instead of a, I guess you would say, regular piercing like our original circles. So this is the Circle Around die, and I'm just going to kind of pop it in here so it peeks out from that fold. And then if you open it all the way, you can see that it's not quite centered. It's a little bit higher than centered right there. And I'm going to bring in that fun sentiment set. Like I said, it's called the Spread Love stamp set. And I particularly love this sentiment that says, "Oh, so happy," because, I mean, come on, it can be for any occasion. It can be just to, you know, to send us to someone for one of those all occasion just because cards. And that's what I'm planning on doing. So I've got the "Oh, so happy" sentiment. And it's really a fun one, too, because it's a little, I don't know, what's the word, wonky? It's not totally straight, so it doesn't really matter how you stamp it. Comes out so pretty, am I right? So cute. It's kind of got that handwritten thing going on. Okay, so now I've got some tropical fun, but I thought, you know what? If we're going to go tropical, let's go all the way, people, right? So I grabbed 2 of my smaller die sets. This first one is called the Mystic Ferns. You can see it's just a real fun, big, ferny fern effect. And then these 2 branches in the Modern Frame die set are super cute. This oval actually coordinates with one of our stamps, the Modern Frame. Thus it's called the Modern Frame die. But because when we do an oval like this, there's this empty space in the middle, so we thought, you know what, let's just put some fun foliage and a couple flowers and stuff in there. So I cut both of these out of a variety of greens. Let me bring those in here. So I've got lemongrass going on. I've got one with fresh forest, so the darker green. And then I've got the little guys cut from limeade right here, and also fresh forest. So I just kind of cut a bunch of fun, you know, tropical looking leaves. And I kind of went a little crazy creating this sort of effect. Let me show you what I'm going to do. I'm going to put a good amount of glue on here. And don't worry, it's not going to show. Just don't accidentally close your card, okay? And now I'm going to take my different fun little fronds, and I'm just going to put them in kind of different patterns. They don't all have to be one way or the other. Kind of overlapping here. This little guy over here. So I'm not going to close it, but I'm going to sort of give you a peek of the effect I'm going for. Do you see what we're doing here? We're kind of doing like a little jungle thing. I'm going to add some more layers. I might have to add a little bit more glue too. So there's 3 different greens, so I think that's really going to kind of give me the look of things peeking out. I can tuck this one in here. And I'm not worried that these are going to fit in an envelope. If you were wanting to put it in an envelope, you definitely could, you know, kind of place the branches in such a way that they wouldn't hang over the side of the edges. But I'm not too worried about an envelope. I might put this in a little, maybe our card carrier or some little box. Okay, so I'm just kind of pushing these all down, and I do have another piece of my pattern paper already cut. So I'm going to add a little bit more glue over the tops of those branches. And then this little guy is just going to hide all the mess, right? So this is genius right here. This is called Hide All Your Gluey Mess. And it also helps hold your branches in place. Now normally I'd probably let this dry for a few minutes, but you know, I'm going to kind of give you the big reveal a little quicker than that. I'll just make sure it's kind of in place there. Okay, so when I fold this guy back, let me move my paper down a little bit more. Now I can close my card without fear of it getting glued together, right? Because I have that extra piece right there. And I can push firmly on this guy. I did try to make an effort to make sure my dies were kind of face forward. Not that it always matters, but once in a while, you know, if you have that nice little crease from your die cut, I try to make them so they face the front of the card. One extra little tip there. Okay, I feel like it's glued in place pretty good. So this is the idea I'm looking for, just kind of a tropical thing. So I have these guys kind of hiding my sentiment, a little peekaboo effect right there, and opening up like this. But, you know, we need a little more character to this card, right? So one of my favorite embellishments that we released sometime last summer is this little Toucan Friends set. So these guys are so fun. I'm hoping when I open them, Roy can get in a little close here, because they're not only just adorable little birds, but they're super dimensional. Like, look on the sides. Like that guy's stacked 3 high. This one's stacked 3 high. Even the flowers have multiple dimension. See the little wings popping out? Right? So fun. And plus they have little sparklies and little glaze on them. Like these are really well done pre-made embellishments. I absolutely love them. So I thought, you know, even though you could go with absolutely any pairs of birds here, the little pink guy is so cute. I kind of went with the more like toucan looking ones. I thought they fit my color scheme pretty well. So I'm going to put one guy a little higher up here. Don't really want to cover my sentiment, right? And then maybe this guy that's a little nosy, he can kind of make sure he's not too crooked. Kind of tuck into my sentiment right there. How fun, right? So again, you could go more colorful, you could add little blossoms or anything else like that. But I thought he was so fun. Okay, so now we really get the fun effect that I was going for in this card. So I've got the front, and I've got all the fun little die cuts. And then this guy pops out when you actually open the card, so it's kind of like, surprise! So fun. And yet, when you open the card all the way, then you have the additional, again, surprise of the handwritten notes. So if I did go ahead and set this up, it would sit on your table something like this. So, oh yeah, I'll turn it all the way around so you can kind of see the forward view. So, right, how fun. So I could sit here and still give you kind of the, hey, stay up, you know, kind of the glimpse of the branches showing through, but then when it stands up, you see a little bit more of the birds. But right, how cute. So it's kind of like ding, 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 ding. All right, so much fun. Let me show you the card that I did earlier, which is essentially the same, but I did add one more little embellishment to the front because I thought it was so fun when it was standing up. I used our Tropical Sunrise, another little really fun embellishment set. I just grabbed the little pineapple from that set and tied it with some twine. So I thought that added a little finishing touch to that front panel, especially when it's closed. It adds a little bit more interest to the finished card. But it doesn't even absolutely have to have that finished piece. But very, very fun. My oh so happy card. I can't wait to write in it. Oh, I added some enamel dots too. I almost forgot about that. My party burst dots, which have really cool shades of green, 3 different shades of green in there. So they were the perfect accent to these guys. So again, there's my finished card and my original, which is pretty much exactly the same. Now I've got 2 to send to some friends. I can't wait to do that. I hope that you have learned something on today's TryDay Friday, something that maybe you want to try when you're crafting this weekend. I know it's hot out there. We had our Hello Summer launch early this summer, but I'm definitely not ready to say goodbye to summer yet. So I thought this was a fun set to play with. And speaking of that, we have a lot of summer left here in Arizona, so I hope I'm not sick of it yet. In any case, I hope that you have fun crafting this weekend, and as always, check out our website at spellbinderspaperarts.com or funstampersjourney.com. Both places will get you right to the shopping, and you can check out any of these products that I used. Have a great weekend, and definitely enjoy bringing paper to life.